are both right. Look at the screen real quick.
Okay.
Watch the topic bar.
He did make up a graphic.
He did. Thank God.
Got it?
No, I just have a topic bar because we have a guest ready to hop in.
Okay.
Ready to answer this topic.
I love that we hit a crescendo.
Yeah.
And then we
screaming.
bring Aditi in as the voice of reason.
And then we all yell on top of
the ball
her.
cap today.
Aditi, tell them how Baker's the most selfish player in the NFL.
She'll never say
Okay,
that.
so he's not.
Wait
I
a
also,
second.
Jay, would really like
Go
you to
ahead.
record a message to my husband that I am a voice of reason because he thinks I'm the voice of all things that are unreasonable in general.
You're very
and,
reasonable.
why am I still a guest? I thought now I was a regular. If
I
I
totally
get to come
agree.
in my
That's
tennis
true.
fights,
Insulting.
like
That's a
straight
bad
from
job.
playing,
Yeah.
aren't I a
Right.
regular?
You
Aren't
are
I
a
part of the
regular.
game?
You are a regular.
Yes.
Part of the team.
Now,
Okay, so then tell Mikey McNuggets to stop calling me a guest.
Yeah,
that's
Mikey.
During the
Bad job,
commercial
Mike.
break,
She
he's
did
going to
sign
get
a
a
Supermax.
he'll get a thorough tongue
Okay.
lashing.
Aditi,
She got a Supermax deal?
Confirmed
As
Supermax.
long as Mike Polk's mom says, right? Because Mike,
Exactly.
your mom did say that I should
Peggy
be a
Polk
regular.
says you're the star. She,
Yeah.
doesn't, she doesn't even like when I'm on. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Aditi, will you please settle this Baker thing for these two gentlemen so they
Yes.
can stop yelling at
Yes.
each other? Do we or were we too mean to Baker?
Yeah, I just don't like meanness in general. Sorry, I'm a mommy of a 6-year-old,
Were we
and so
unfair to
like,
Baker?
I think that you always take the high road. You stay as classy as can be. The guy balled out
I'm
for
not
the
classy.
time that he was here, and
Was he
wish
treated
him
fairly?
well.
Was he treated fairly, in your view?
You know, from what I have been told, his camp was indeed made aware of what the Browns were doing. And so
Exactly.
therefore there
He's a
is
little
a certain
baby.
level of fairness to that.
Yeah.
And we all have to acknowledge that at some point we can all be replaced, or we can all be too expensive, or we can all be whoever. I mean, whatever it is, most of us have lived through the process of that. So that's life. It sucks. It's horrible. I know that he feels he could have been kept apprised of more, but I mean, I don't know. Jay, how many things in your life could you sit here and say you have hard feelings about?
Well, the way I live my life is I just the rearview mirror is what happened yesterday. I can't look
He
back.
really doesn't have hard feelings. He's a bad example. He's a
I'm
weirdo.
a terrible example, Aditi.
Here's the
I
bottom
don't
line.
even get mad at people when I should
Do
be
you
mad at
keep
them.
notes? Do you keep notes on who
Aditi-
called you and who didn't, and
He
who
gets
showed interest in
he gets
you?
if he gets like a speeding ticket, he's like, no problem, officer, you're just doing your job.
Doing your job.
That's
Have a
nice.
great day.
Listen, Aditi, couple things. Number one, Baker, as you said, knew they were trying to get a great quarterback. He's just a guy. We all know that. And he's just a guy. He's an
Push
average
back.
quarterback.
Just
back,
a guy
Aditi.
is Mason Rudolph. Baker's
no.
better than just a guy.
To me, just a guy is an average quarterback. But whatever. You agree he's average. He's
But
average.
he's a starting quarterback. He's a
yeah, but a
starting quarterback in the
bottom,
National Football League.
but a lower level starting quarterback. Like not top
But he's
15.
still a starting quarterback. There are only 32 in the National Football
Right, but
League.
but at the moment nobody wants him to be a starting quarterback.
Yeah,
At
which
the
is
price.
really, it's a statement on the fact that ability is not only about what you see on the football field.
True.
Okay, true.
It's the whole package.
But listen, last year were there not rumors for months and months that the Dolphins were going to trade for Watson, right?
There were.
Okay. Did we hear Tua whine about it ever? One time.
Okay, but Adam, why are you expecting every single human being to be the exact same person?
I'm not.
Eli
I'm just
Manning
saying.
and Ben Roethlisberger came in at the exact same time.
Right.
Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger have both won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Eli Manning's magic was that he was always available. That the best part of his ability was his availability, that he knew when to throw the ball away and live to see another down. Ben Roethlisberger's magic was completely different, and he wasn't always available. And he extended every play, and sometimes that was to great strength, and sometimes it wasn't. They were 2 completely, totally different people.
That's a good point.
Right.
Why
But
are you trying to make Baker Mayfield
I'm
the
not.
exact same guy that Tua is?
I'm not at all. He could do whatever he wants. But my point is that everybody thinks he's been wronged because he whined about it 10 seconds after finding out Browns were going to be trading for him. He whined.
Well,
Not
I don't
to-
think he's been wronged. I think this is the nature of
course
the
he's not,
business.
right.
You know what? And this is a
Exactly.
conversation I actually had with an NFL player just yesterday about his situation and my situation. And sometimes, whether we like it or not, this is just the nature of the game. This is what business is. And it's not
And
all
Aditi,
warm
one-
and fuzzy and hearts and flowers and what they teach you in kindergarten.
One
Sorry.
quick point, too. You're trying to compare Baker to Tua. And I think that's a disrespect of Baker. Tua has done
because of what Baker's accomplished.
because of
Yes.
what Baker's accomplished. Tua's done nothing.
It doesn't matter. It's
Yes,
the
it does
point-
matter.
The point
It
is
does
it's
matter.
business.
Would you expect Tom Brady to say something if he was going to be replaced via a trade? You would think yes, because he's accomplished. He's done a lot. Tua's
Okay,
sitting here.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Tua should be lucky he has a job.
Well, then I'll give you Jimmy Garoppolo, who has accomplished way more than Baker Mayfield. They drafted Trey Lance, and he didn't say peep. So there you go. Jimmy Garoppolo, much more accomplished.
You know what? I'm with Jay on this. I think that you're comparing apples to oranges. I think that expecting all human beings to kind of have the same response, then you're getting away from what makes somebody special.
I hear you.
Like, what,
I'm not-
isn't this what we used to talk about in New York? Adam, isn't this what we used to talk about in New York when David Wells threw that perfect game and he said he was totally hungover? And it was like, who was it? Was it Mickey Mantle? I'm sorry, I don't want to.
No,
Mantle.
Whitey Ford.
No, but who used to drink a lot? And it was
Mickey
like, but this
Mantle.
guy,
Mickey
you know,
Mantle
a
and
player
Whitey
had
Ford,
drank
yes.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's sort of like we can sit here and we can say we wish somebody was something, but
No.
maybe part of that edge is who they are.
Well, Aditi,
That's- okay.
Let's bring this back all the back where this started, right?
Yeah,
We
I
started-
noticed he doesn't want to. Ricky McNuggets made a big deal about me putting food in his place. He's like, I'm just gonna stay.
Listen. You see this? I ain't messing with y'all. I ain't messing around with y'all no more. I ain't arguing with no more. I'm gonna give you an opportunity. You gotta flip the script. She's opining on our opinions. You have to give her something to opine on now, so then we can get her. Now, no,
Excellent hosting.
See that?
Excellent hosting.
Now, Aditi, you
a kiss
worked.
up.
You worked in Pittsburgh, right? You've been around T.J. Watt. Yeah, now there's this thing going around where it's like Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt. Who's the better player? If you had to take one, and do you believe that Myles Garrett still has a little more to go? But you can get to the first question first. Who you taking?
Okay, I think everybody has a little bit to go. I think that on natural ability, on the body that God has bestowed upon you, Myles Garrett wins. Right now, today, I would take TJ Watt.
Woo!
And I'll tell you why.
Motor.
I love the way that TJ works. This is what we talked about on Tuesday, guys. What does a big contract do for you? And we talked about this with David Njoku. TJ signed a massive contract. He made the Steelers change the way they do business in terms of guaranteeing money beyond the first year. And you know how he responded? By working even harder. TJ said, I'm going to justify the faith that you're showing in me, and every single day I'm going to go out there and prove you right. And TJ works his tail off. He may be one of the best players on that team. He is willing to give credit to everybody else. He stays after every OTA, every practice, every minicamp, every whatever, works extra. You will see him by himself on a sled, on a walking sled, on whatever. He works with his teammates. I've watched him with Bud Dupree going over, this is this technique, this is that, all of that. And he genuinely roots for people. And he's really heady. Like, I remember during the COVID season, this is one of those crazy stories. You know, you'd get in trouble if you were within 15 feet of somebody or 10 feet, whatever the rule was. As soon as the drill would be over, TJ would book to the opposite end of the football field so that he wasn't around anybody. Like, he was doing every single thing he possibly could not to get ensnared in that. And then a year ago, he did turn up positive, and he's running around trees in his backyard while he's dealing with COVID symptoms, just so that he can stay ready, so that hopefully he tests negative in time for a game against, I believe it was the Ravens.
He leaves nothing to change.
I love the attitude. I love the mindset. I love the approach. I love that he sucks every single thing out of every cell that he has. And I think that, you know, ultimately we all want to reach our potential. And so when Joe Woods is saying, I think we can get more out of Myles Garrett, that's not a knock on Myles. I think that Myles can be this. I think Myles can potentially be the greatest defensive player that ever lived. So I'm going to hold him to that. I'm going to challenge him to that.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I just think Watts, until the Browns got cloudy last year, Watts had so much better talent around him, which has made his job easier. I would bet Myles Garrett's been double-teamed a lot more than Watt has over the years. I know he wins as better pass rush win rate. I know he's got a better PFF grade. I mean, they're both great. It's it's splitting hairs between the two.
But it's true. I mean, Adam, you make a great point because I think that Cam Hayward, when you look at the Steelers, Cam Hayward has not gotten enough attention for
phenomenal.
what
Very
he does.
true.
Especially last year when the Steelers, their three front defensive linemen, they only had one starter. Tyson Alualu got hurt and Stephon Tuitt, who just retired yesterday, he didn't play all year. Cam was facing double and triple teams. Every single game. And that surely did free up TJ. And it's interesting that you say that because the year before, when TJ was on one side and Bud Dupree, who's now with the Titans, was on the other side, TJ Watt had better numbers than Aaron Donald. And I remember my husband and I were watching like the player of the year, the defensive player of the year thing. And my husband was like, oh, TJ's definitely going to get it. And I said, no, actually, it's going to be AD. And he said, what? Like, how can you say that? Look at TJ's numbers. And I said, well, TJ had Bud Dupree garnering attention as well. And he had Cam Hayward and Tyson Alualu and Stephon Tuitt up in front of him. Aaron Donald was doing things all by himself. And a year ago, we saw TJ doing more by himself. Even though Cam was drawing attention, we did see TJ doing more by himself. And a smart football watcher can see that. So I understand what you're saying, but I also think that the Browns had a better back end last year when they were healthy than the Steelers did.
That's true.
And so that helps Myles Garrett for sure. And then, of course, Clowney on the other side helps.
Aditi,
And
on
the
the
middle coach
retirement.
was good too. I mean, the Browns played good defense a year ago. They really, truly, honestly
Especially the
did.
back half.
Thank you. That means a lot.
The back half. Aditi, on the retirement, that news caught me somewhat by surprise. Were you expecting that? And do you know what's going on there? I know that he lost his brother, and it's kind of, he just recently graduated from Notre Dame. He finished his degree. But what impact will that have on the Steelers on the field, and was it a complete surprise to you?
I think that it was indeed a bit surprising to me. You know, like in the city of Pittsburgh, they're comparing this to offensive lineman David DeCastro a year ago. And DeCastro, I knew, had dealt with all these ankle issues, and I thought that this was very possible. To it, we kept hearing that he was doing significantly better. You know, a year ago, this young man who is unbelievably close to his family watched his brother die, dealt with his mother having watched her son die and the trauma of that and having to be there for everyone. And it's not for us to say how you handle grief or how you handle tragedy. It was enormously difficult for him. He dealt with that stress by putting on some weight. That weight then left to pressure on his knee. That led to the knee not necessarily being where it needed to be. And the whole year, he was managing a lot of different things, physical ailments as well as sort of some mental ailments, let's just call them. And I don't know why we don't necessarily equate the two, because I think the mind is just as important as the body. So anyway, Tuitt spent last year really struggling in a lot of ways. Then we heard that this year he had really turned a corner. Cam Hayward, Mike Tomlin, people were very, very positive about where Stephon Tuitt was in his life and what he wanted to do and his availability. And yet he didn't come to OTAs. And my guess is that as he sort of took a step back and really thought about what he wants to do, and does he feel ready to put in the work and the effort and the time to playing the game of football, he ultimately decided that he doesn't want to. And it really, really, really disturbed me, the number of Steelers fans that have, or football fans, let's just identify them as football fans, who've accused Tuitt of stealing money, who've responded by saying, oh, well, you stole money last year. Oh, well, you took money last year. Oh, you know, it just feels as if there's not an acknowledgement that these people are human beings.
Right.
Just like we
People
are.
are idiots.
And they
Aditi,
deal with stressors the way that we deal with stressors.
You heard
and
it
like,
here.
who are we to judge how you handle something in your family and in your life when you don't really know what's behind the curtain? So, you know, best of luck to Stephon Tuitt. That's what I say.
I agree with
he
that.
He is a wonderful young man. And is the Steelers' defensive line different today than I thought it would be a week ago? Yes.
Absolutely.
Do they have some young talent there that they expect to step up? Sure, they do. You know, and again, we'll go back to that line. Pressure either bursts pipes or it makes diamonds. So do Marvin Leal or Isaiah Loudermilk or even Chris Wormley, do they step up in a different way? Maybe they do, because you know what? Playing on a line with Cam Hayward and Tyson Alualu, you get some extra help.
Yeah, you do.
You know, that's like kind of getting to play from the closer tee a little bit.
Sure.
So,
We do agree
okay,
with
so
you, though,
I don't
that-
want to hear that Stephon Tuitt was stealing money.
We
I
agree
really
with
don't.
you that Steelers fans are inconsiderate and cruel trash. So good call. You heard it here. Aditi said that here, everybody.
Please.
Yeah.
We
Pull
know
that
what you
clip.
were saying. No, you know what,
No,
though?
I'm
She
kidding.
makes a great point, because it's not just this instance. We've all seen it before. Sometimes fans view these players as objects, and it's kind of a
Sometimes.
gut punch.
It's
yeah, I
gross.
know, you're right. Not sometimes. It
It's
happens
gross.
a lot. When a guy gets old before our eyes, some of the things that they say to that person, about that person.
Like
it's
they say
just-
they stink.
Yeah, they might say they stink, or even they suck. God
They suck.
forbid.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's
yeah.
like
Baker
that
did suck
Peyton
last
Manning
year.
commercial. Remember that Peyton Manning commercial where he was like, "Cut that meat, cut
Yeah,
that meat."
exactly.
Can you imagine if you're like sitting doing your like accounting numbers and somebody's standing there saying, "Hey, you're adding those numbers slower than you did a week ago. What's the matter with you?"
And
I
booing
mean,
you. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's now granted
now,
they're
in fairness,
paid
you
well.
can boo me for the money they're making. I
yeah,
mean, you
no,
can do anything.
They're paid well, and it's all
People
part
boo
of the
me
job.
anyway. They
But I
they
think-
tell me to have heart attacks and die. I'm too fat to be
Well,
on TV.
shame on
so
them.
that's all right, and I'm not making anywhere close to what those guys are making.
I know. I think the point is like
No, of course you gotta
under
treat
the
them like
uniform, there's a heart, there's a soul, there's a person who has family, who
Right.
has issues that they're dealing with, and in this particular case, real heady life issues.
People are bad.
And sometimes I think all fans would do well just to remember sometimes that these people that you're bullying and saying things about.
If I can bring that back, Jay, I think 2 years ago, Myles Garrett himself was dealing with some issues and was managing all of that.
Sure.
And, you know, obviously, we all would like to put what's happening in our personal lives, you know, kind of in our computer bags while we go and we do our work, obviously. But we're human, and there should be some acknowledgement or recognition of that. I don't know. I think that that's part of our obligation, too, being on the other side to share some of that. And Adam, to your point, I get it. You know, like, people pay a lot of money. If it gives them joy to boo someone in a stadium, fine, boo. I just never really got it. Like,
I don't
how do you
boo.
think
I think-
booing someone encourages your team to play better?
You're 100% right. Booing is stupid, but fans can do it. It's when they cross the line to, call
Yeah.
the guy stealing money, when you threaten somebody's life, talk about their family and
Right.
personal stuff.
Yeah,
Booing
know
is
where the line
fine. Who
is.
cares? I mean, I think booing. I agree with you. I think booing is stupid.
I got
You
a
know, it's
question.
funny. I was just telling this story, and I'm going to make like a total left turn right here, but although that was my right, whatever, left turn, lefty, see, righty, anyway. I was telling my son, who is a huge Bills fan, about being a little girl and Scott Norwood. And is that the guy's name? Adam, am I right? Is
Scott
that his name, the
Norwood,
kicker
yeah.
that missed the field goal?
Yeah,
Yeah, Scott Norwood. You
by
got it.
about 6
Okay.
inches.
Right. So Super Bowl against the Giants, he misses a field goal. He goes back to Buffalo,
Yeah.
and he gets all this love. And I was really little. I mean, I don't know how old I was. I was like 5 or 6 years old, right? But I still remember that this guy misses a kick and loses his city and loses his team the field goal because he loses them the Super Bowl because he misses the field goal. And the city just envelops him. And then fast forward a few years, and it's a World Series. And Mitch Williams, is that right too?
Yes,
I'm
no,
getting
you're-
old. I don't remember names. Mitch Williams blows a save for the Phillies. And the Philadelphia fans torch his house. Like
Yeah.
they burned his
Well,
house.
Not great.
Didi,
His
I'll
own
go back
teammates
even.
didn't like
I'll go
him, though.
back even older, and I
The
know
one
that
teammate.
Bull will remember this
Yeah.
name. Even prior to that, there was a relief pitcher for the Angels named Donnie Moore.
Yeah, killed himself.
He committed suicide. He infamously
86.
blew a playoff game, and this was when the Angels never made it to the playoffs.
Right.
And he blew a playoff game, and Aditi, he never recovered. His
Right.
life spiraled out of control,
Gave him
and
a
he
home run to
committed.
Dave Henderson.
Yes, he did, so when it kills me
Yeah.
when I hear, some of these, because that's become a thing on social media. Kill yourself. Like, I think you should lose your social media account if you ever tweet those words.
the
you
number
should
of times
lose
I've
your
been
social
told
media
that
account.
you should just kill yourself. And it's
Well,
like,
the
you don't even
Tesla
know
guy
me.
said everybody can
Honestly,
say anything
you
now,
want
so
to leave my
nobody's
children
losing
as
their-
orphans because you don't like my take on something?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, people are idiots.
It's just ridiculous. Aditi, I'm going to open a can of worms that I hope we can close because we're going to do the debate tomorrow, but we don't have you tomorrow. So it's June 2nd. I mean, we're grabbing at straws here. There's nothing going on. We had planned for today's show the following debate. Which roster are you taking? Minus the quarterback position. It's June 2nd. Ooh. You want the Browns roster or you want the 49ers roster? And we're going to do this debate tomorrow, but as I said, you're not here tomorrow. So I want to hear your take on that today. Before we go to mailbag, we've got some great questions for you from our viewers in mailbag. But first, whose roster do you like better, the Browns or the Niners?
Okay, I love the 49ers defensive front. I think that they play faster and tougher than any other D-line, arguably, in the NFL, but I am taking the Browns roster.
Overall, you taking their roster?
Woo! Yep.
I'll take that as a win.
Very good.
Minus quarterback?
And why is that?
Yeah, minus quarterback.
What gives the Browns the edge?
I don't necessarily see a hole anywhere.
Not even at linebacker?
I think that there is... I'm not 100% sure on the wide receiver position outside of Cooper and, let's see how all of that develops. But I don't see a significant spot where I'm saying who's doing this, who's stepping up here, who's available, who's bought in. There's obviously bias, right?
Yeah,
I'm more familiar with the Browns than I am with the 49ers.
Yeah,
but I really, for a few years now, I've been saying top to bottom, I like that Browns roster. There have just been some other issues associated with how they all put it together.
Yeah. All right. We'll dive into that more tomorrow. And I think that's well said on your part. I think both teams have pretty deep rosters. And I'm a little concerned about the linebacking position for the Browns, but we'll get into that more tomorrow. Mailbag, McNuggets?
It is time for the mailbag. And as always, any internet submissions are brought to you by PCC Airfoils. Looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits? PCC Airfoils is a leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Menor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions starting at $18 an hour and up.
18?
Plus, get a full benefit package, paid time off, and a signing bonus. Apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more.
Get that $18. $18. You need to be out there getting that. I might go apply over there, dog.
Exactly.
18?
We're all going to start working a shift after this. Aditi, you love those airfoils. We know it.
Did
airplane
McNuggets
parts.
actually pronounce all the towns right
got 'em,
today?
yeah,
I think he did.
I'm getting better.
Yeah, we've been practicing.
He's usually like Minerva or something like that.
Mentor.
Wycliffe.
Hi, go easy on the Jersey guy. Come on now. In Jersey,
Thank
we
you.
have normal town names.
So let's do mailbag, Mikey. What do we have?
So we put this on Twitter yesterday. Steve, let's pull up 70. If you have a question, you want to hashtag Ask Aditi, drop it in the comments below. We'll ask her live on air tomorrow.
Exciting.
And she's not a guest. She's just our favorite now.
She is.
Part of the team. Steve, let's get to the first question. This comes from Ryan Snedeker. What's the funniest thing Nick Chubb
Don't
has
make
ever
her
said?
pick.
That's kind of funny.
Has he ever said anything funny?
Exactly.
Trick question.
No, but I actually once asked him if anyone makes him laugh, and he said that Kareem Hunt regularly makes him laugh.
Wow.
Funniest thing that Nick Chubb has actually said to me. The first time I interviewed him, he was a rookie, and it was a preseason game against the Bills, and I think he had 2 or 3 touchdowns. And I actually said to him, you are allowed to smile right now. He's actually never made me laugh.
I
But
like
he
hearing
does say that Kareem Hunt allegedly makes him laugh.
Yeah.
He's all business, man.
I know.
If you give me 52 others just like him,
Yep.
you're going to win a Super
I'm glad
Bowl
he
every
didn't have any terrible jokes for
Jay,
you.
I love him, and let me tell you, Odyssey put out a tweet yesterday ranking the 4 running backs in the AFC North.
Yeah.
I saw that.
They said Najee Harris came first, Nick Chubb came second. And then Joe Mixon was third, J.K. Dobbins was fourth. I am a huge Najee Harris fan, but I am taking Nick Chubb every single day. I am taking him on Sunday, on Monday, on Thursday. If there are games on Tuesday, I'll take
Do
him
not,
then.
Bull, stop.
Wait, but
This is a topic
didn't
tomorrow.
hear
We're doing this whole
the order. I
topic
didn't hear
tomorrow.
No, so Najee Harris was 1, right? And Chubb was 2?
I just need to know who wrote this article.
Odyssey.
Najee Harris.
But don't
Not a
comment on it,
surprise.
Bull, because that's a topic for tomorrow's show.
Najee Harris wrote
We're
it.
doing that
That
on tomorrow's
person
show.
should lose their job.
I'm
by the way.
taking
Go ahead.
I
That person
love Nick
stinks.
Chubb.
Yeah. No,
We're going to cut that Aditi shot and put it in the show as a fifth opinion.
I'm with her, too. I mean, literally,
that's absurd.
To me, there are certain things that I can see that will automatically crash your credibility with me, and that's one of them.
You're
like,
putting Najee Harris before Joe Mixon's absurd.
We are creeping into the topic. You see how they creep?
We're cutting off. Steve, let's pull up the
By
next
the way,
question.
Najee Harris should be fourth, but let's go ahead.
Yeah. Next question.
Question number 2 comes from Benjamin Not Button.
This is a bad
What's
question
your
for Aditi.
favorite restaurant in Cleveland?
Why is that a bad question?
Because you don't eat.
Because I'm a vegetarian?
You don't eat.
Oh, come on. No, I totally eat. In fact, that's why I'm playing tennis every single day, because my doctor said I better get on this year.
But I mean, you eat vegetarian, so I'm guessing you haven't gone to that many places, is my guess.
Okay, well, my kind of regular go-to over the last 10 years, just because of where I stayed in Cleveland, downtown Cleveland, is a place called Taza, which is on that strip, near the Renaissance and the Marriott the Marriott Key Center. Yeah. What's that road?
6.
That's on 6.
Okay, so that Taza Lebanese restaurant, I really, really like that. I just went to an Italian place when I was in town 2 weeks ago. That was outstanding. And why can I not remember it? I have to look it up.
Everyone check that place out too.
Was it Johnny's downtown?
Yeah, it wasn't Joseph's. It wasn't like DeLuca. It was something else.
Olive Garden? At the North Olmsted Mall?
I really like Town Hall. I think Town Hall is really
it's a hot
good.
Italian
Town
place.
Hall is spectacular. Really good food.
Wait, I'm going to tell you the Italian place that I just went to. That was really good. Hold on. I'm just.
Are you calling them?
No, I'm looking at old texts with who I went with.
No, she's placing an order for us to be delivered.
Oh, Luca Italian cuisine.
Oh, that place is good.
Yeah, that's a very good restaurant.
I've never been there.
I thought you were going to say Johnny's. Johnny's is a favorite of a lot of folks downtown. I think Johnny's is overrated.
Was the one that was recommended, but we didn't choose Johnny's.
Yeah,
we
you
chose
made the right
Luca
choice.
because the person I went with really wanted the dessert at Luca.
Yeah.
Although I don't think
you go to Mitchell's
that
for
person
dessert.
ultimately ended up getting dessert. I can't remember.
Fiddle.
That's the better choice.
Two good restaurant tips though.
If anyone's got recommendations for places to eat, if
I've
ever
invited
back
Aditi
to
my
Vegas,
house
I'd
for
love
dinner
to
a couple of times, and she has not taken me up. I'm starting to get insulted.
I can't imagine.
Very cruel.
You probably don't have many vegetables there.
We got plenty of vegetables. We eat vegetables every night.
All right. What's the next question? You got
we
another
have
one?
2 more.
All right.
This is actually a football question.
Wow.
Please hashtag ask Aditi if there's any likelihood to the Browns bringing back J.C. Treader at a discount or otherwise. She also wants G. Bush to know she's Smartass Official on YouTube.
Oh, wow. That's smart ass.
Yeah, she
always
used to
nice
tweet
to
it.
meet her.
I'm not 100% sure that actually is a woman and the real picture.
Yeah.
But that person April is a good tweeter and used to tweet at me all the time. Yeah. They're good. You didn't. That was.
I don't know. I don't got enough followers to not.
I don't cross.
They're cool.
I don't
they're
cross
cool.
social media platforms either.
Cool.
That takes a lot of work. Aditi, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not thinking that it's. J.C. Treader went to Cornell just like I did, so go Big
nice.
Red.
Oh, wow,
but my expectation is that he is not coming back to Cleveland.
He'll cost too much.
Berea.
Is that because it's just a personal thing or the money thing?
No, I just think that the money, the fit, all of that. At least
Everything.
my feeling right now, April, is that is not necessarily a. I think it's been a really good run. It was a nice relationship while it lasted, and it is not a relationship that is continuing.
Why is he still on the market?
I know.
The guy's
Why is
still
he
a really
still on
good
the
player.
market?
It's so weird. I wish the Bengals would sign him.
Do you think the Bengals should get him? The Bengals have a center.
No, he's not. They signed a guy to play center, but he's been a better guard than he's been a center.
Aditi,
Okay,
Mike wants to know why he's still on the market.
Number, and you can reach out to Duke. You can tell Duke that's what you think.
Aditi, really, why do you think J.C. Treader's still available?
Yeah.
Why hasn't anybody picked him up yet?
I just think that we see that a lot with veteran players in general. I think that in the National Football League, you work very, very hard to earn a veteran salary, and you believe that you are worth something. And the older you get, well, there's young talent that may not be as good or heady or smart or valuable or as much of a leader as you are. But a team is very likely to say, well, I can get this 22-year-old kid for a quarter of what I'm paying you.
And he's the union leader. That might factor in too.
I don't think that's part of it. Honestly, I don't think that piece of it is there, Adam. But I do think that as a veteran, you believe you're worth something and you want to be paid what you're worth.
Look, we're seeing that with wide receivers.
More likely to say, hey, a young kid is a lot cheaper.
And Aditi, we're seeing that with wide receivers all over the league. Teams are willing to let veteran wide receivers go. Not even older wide receivers, just second contract wide receivers. They're willing to let these guys go and take their chance on someone in the draft.
And that's the benefit of the salary cap.
We talked about Stephon Tuitt. Guys, we talked about Stephon Tuitt earlier. Endam Okongso is on the market. Carlos Dunlap is on the market. Jason Pierre-Paul is on the market. Wow. You've got some veteran, heady guys who maybe aren't as fast as they once were, but could play the position. Yeah. They're all on the market. Nobody's signing them.
Yeah. Last question, McNuggets, what do you got?
This is a good one from Ben Peck. What's on your Mount Rushmore of wines?
Oh man, guys, we have to save that one.
Oh wow!
I'll show you my collection later on downstairs in some way.
Okay. Table that for next week.
We'll take pictures, take video.
You know what? And tell him also I need more specificity. Like, are you talking about if somebody else is buying or if I'm going to the fine wine?
Well, I think Mount Rushmore is your 4 favorites. So forget who's buying and how much.
Money were not an object.
It doesn't matter
you
what
could
the
buy
cost
4
is.
bottles of wine, or if you could be gifted 4 bottles of wine. What are you asking?
Yeah, what are the best? Like,
so that's the parameter.
I'm asking for whatever Jay Crawford will buy for me.
Nice.
I'm a big Boone's Farm guy myself. I mean, I know.
See, I got you.
Aditi, you'll be maybe surprised to hear this, but I'm not a wine guy. I'm really not.
Not at all.
No, not a big wine guy at all. And
are you a beer guy?
I am. I'm a beer guy. I will drink whiskey as well.
Jameson, let's go.
Like an IPA guy or a
no.
Definitely light beer.
It has to be light. It's just whatever it is. It has to be light.
What do you mean by that?
He's a
Jay's
lightweight.
is clearly.
Yeah. Listen, I've got a tennis match after this. So Aditi, are we?
Let me tell you.
I want to see the whole outfit.
We have to wear all whites and do the whole white wristband, white earrings, white hat.
You look like a rich lady in an 80s movie.
Are we catching you pre-tennis match or post-tennis match?
Post! That's
You look that good after you played tennis?
Not bad.
Did you win?
Well, that was what I apologized to Mikey McNuggets for, is that I expected to get home and get showered and clean before it was time to be on TV. But then I played a little longer because,
Yeah.
So,
did you
guys,
win, though?
I hate golf. Can we talk about this next time? Like, I am supposed to be learning how to play golf this summer. That was part of leaving the NFL Network, is that I'm going to actually take some time to do things.
Yeah.
Good.
And I'm not loving it. Like, I'm
No?
really not.
Golf sucks. Don't do
worst.
You have to lower your expectations, Aditi, and play it as the game it's intended to be. Fun. If you try to be a great golfer, you'll hate the sport.
Yeah, I really do. Like, I love the tennis. I love whacking the ball. I love sweating. I love the whole thing. The golf is just, oh my gosh.
Aditi, did you win? Did you win your match today?
I played with a really good group. I won because I had a lot of fun and I sweat and I smiled.
Well, everyone wins when you have fun, obviously.
She is a good mom.
Yeah, she is.
Aditi, you're not a guest. You're our favorite.
Yeah.
All right?
Thank you.
See you later.
And we want you to have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday, okay?
All right, guys. Love
Bye.
you all.
See you,
Have
Aditi.
fun.
Bye.
Post-tennis match. She still looks great.
Yeah.